because you think the guy's got to bust a draw, but you can't call with 5 high.
It's actually interesting. You know, I did a hand in the $1 Million Cash game quite a while ago where Phil Ivey was in the hand against Mike Matusow. And it was a very interesting stop where it looked like Phil Ivey had basically given up on the pot. And if you want to YouTube this, you can. It was probably 2007 or maybe 2008. There was a 4 flush that came out on the board. And Matusow actually had the king high flush. Okay, but the board paired. And on the river, Phil Ivey basically gave up on it. He checked all 3 streets. He gave up on it. He checked the river, was giving up on it. And then Matusow put out a bet on the river. And he thought, okay, I can value bet this. Well, you've got to be careful when you thinly value bet a a world-class player like Phil Ivey, because Phil Ivey, he took that value bet and he stuck it right up Mike Matusow's ass. You know, he basically said, he said, okay, I know you don't have a full house here, and I'm going to rep that. And Phil Ivey check-raised the river because he had no showdown value, actually. And he check-raised the river and really gave it to Mike.
Now, Lizette's in big trouble here, because Lizette opened to 15. Todd called Robocop 3-bet, and Lizette really needs to be out pre-flop here, calling a 3-bet.
What are you talking about? She's flopping the nuts, baby.
She's got ace-jack.
She's flopping the nuts.
And Todd here is really strange. Todd called, then called the 3-bet, and now he leads out with ace-queen. This really puts Robocop in a weird spot. He's the 3-better with ace-king. Now you've got a guy leading out here on a board after you saw him lead out with ace-5. But then you also saw him lead out with ace-king when he had air before as well.
Yeah, now if I'm in Robocop's spot, I'm not necessarily raising because of the lead out, but if Todd's bet sizing is not where I want it to be at, I'm going to assume it's a non-bet, and I'm going to put the bet out there that I want to put. Like, I've seen people do this where, like, the pot's 400 and somebody bets 50,
right,
and I feel like I'm good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to disregard that $50 bet, and I'm going to do it. And Lizette says, you know what, I'm good. I'll take it. There's 2 diamonds out there. I'm scared. I want it.
And I don't think Robocop can fold. He can't fold till Lizette's all in. I mean, Robocop made it 150. Lizette moved in for 250.
The problem is Lizette could have king jack.
Yeah.
Lizette could have like, queen X of diamonds.
Oh no, but is Todd gonna call the raise and the shove though with ace queen?
Yeah, this is a fairly easy fold for Todd, but he's got a gut shot. If he hits a jack, he does chop this one up. He also has running cards to a diamond draw.
Robocop here has got a backdoor flush draw as well with the ace-king of hearts. Well, he hasn't called yet.
No, it looks like he has, though. Looks like he has called. He's just trying to figure out how much it is. You know what? He's up, and he's going to gamble a little bit.
This pot right now is at least $900. This is probably the biggest pot of the night. It's a 3-bet pot. It's a 3-bet pot.
And Lizette is in great shape
to triple up.
And turn what was a pretty bad night into a winning night.
Now we've got a side pot here.
Oh, there's backdoor hearts.
Yeah, Robocop's got a flush draw. Now, what does he do here? Does he bet on the side, though?
Oh, I do.
Because this guy called his raise, and I think you might think this guy has a combo draw. I think I might bet this hand here.
You have to assume that if your opponent just called her push, he doesn't have a made hand. And I'm going to think that ace-king of hearts is good.
Now, would you ever think that this guy, has got a hand like queen 10 and he's a little bit scared? And would you ever take the card? I still think I bet for value, though, with ace-king here. On the side, because remember, it's a side pot here, and he is going to bet.
Yeah, I might think that I have to bet just to I'm probably going to lose the main pot, and I want to at least win something back. And he's going to bet 200, and it looks like Todd is going to call. Actually, I'm sorry, 275.
Well, he's betting 275. Well, the pot's $1,000. Yeah, well, he wouldn't necessarily have to bet here to bluff Todd off. You mean you're trying to bluff him off a too small pair? I don't think Todd's ever folding. I don't really mind the bet, though. I think it's a little bit big, but I think that Robocop thinks he's good, and he's setting up a shove on the side.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He's setting up a shove on
the side. And he's in great shape, by the way. The only card he's scared of right now is a queen. And that's it.
So 1,000 in the main and 550 on the side. Oh, the river's a queen.
Oh, what a terrible beat for Robocop.
Wow.
And it goes check. And he goes all in. And now,
wow.
Now Todd's
going to
Todd calls. And ace-king, not good. Robocop's going to be sick to his stomach. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, well, ace-jack for Lizette. She's going to win the main pot, which is about $1,000. Todd, our KLAC promotional winner, is going to win the side pot, which is also another $1,000.
You know, the funny thing is that Todd checked, and Robocop, of course, moved in for value.
Yeah.
He actually value owned himself. I would have done the exact same thing. I would have put Todd on a king. I wouldn't expect Todd to check. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Todd to necessarily, check a queen on the river here, although queen X of diamonds is possible. But at that point, you only
Leave this board up, Todd. Leave this board up, Ronnie.
At that point, you only have 270 left, And I would definitely, I don't think Robocop did anything wrong in that hand. I really don't.
Okay, let me ask you something, just to play devil's advocate. What do you think Todd is calling $200 with and another $275 with on the turn? King Jack? I mean, I'm trying to. You're really. There's only a couple of hands you can beat that you can get value from it, and I'm thinking specifically King Jack. That's it.
Well, if he's,
I'm just saying it's really. The only reason I'm saying I don't mind the bet. I'm not saying I mind. I'm just playing devil's advocate. What hand do you now beat when the queen hits the river?
Well,
besides King Jack.
But the thing is that he's calling the raise with Ace Queen, so why can't he have King 9? Something like that. I mean, he just called a bet, a raise, and an all-in with Ace Queen.
No, I understand that, but I mean, generally speaking, if I'm sitting at a table, I'm not putting my opponent on King 9. He may have King 9, and I may be wrong, but if I'm in Robocop spot, and if you're in Robocop spot, what do you put Todd on when he calls the turn?
I think that he can have a diamond draw.
Okay,
he
so
can
make
have
a diamond
king.
draw. If he has a diamond draw, he's not going to call you.
How about Jack 10, King 10,
so
maybe something like that.
Okay.
King 9, any king. He just called the guy with Ace Queen.
No, okay, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I mean, you're busy tweeting and you're not listen to what I'm trying to say. Okay, just for a second. But don't be results oriented. If you're in Robocop spot, because if I'm in Robocop spot, I don't put Todd on King 9 or King 7 or King 4 or King 3. Okay, with that in mind. I'm trying to think, I go, okay, what does my opponent have? I literally, if I'm into Robocop spot, I'm putting him on diamonds, King Jack, maybe Queen 10, maybe Queen X of diamonds. You know, I'm trying to think of the hands that at least I put him on a range of hands. Now, the bet on the river, the only hand, at least in my mind, obviously I'm wrong because Todd's actually calling with Ace Queen. And I'd be wrong because he'd probably be in there with King 9 also. I'd be wrong, but at least if I'm in Robocop spot, the only hand that I think I can get value from is King Jack specifically.